Previously on High Scores, High Stakes.
Okay, so today's challenge game is The Last of Us Remastered. The challenge is permadeath rules. Once you die, you have to restart the game in 4th place. Shocker. Sherry, he will get 0
not
points.
easy being greasy.
Cardinal came 3rd and he gets the single point. Tom came 2nd, he gets 2 points. And then obviously there was only ever going to be one winner in this challenge, and it's me. I get the 3 points. So that means something very important for the league table, please. So the leaderboard now looks like this. Still our rock solid foundation sitting bottom of the league is Sherry.
I'm never leaving.
With 4 points.
I'm never going up, Mom.
In 3rd place, and now 3 points clear of Sherry, is Cardinal with 7.
Always on top.
In 2nd place, with 10 points, is Tomahawk.
It's fun while it lasted up top.
Top of the league. Also with 10 points is myself, back where I belong, boys.
Lava. After our challenge in Back for Blood, I thought I could let it go. I thought I could get past it to be the bigger man. But I've had the time, I've stewed on it, I'm not happy. I'm going to lay down the gauntlet for you. We're going to go one-on-one in Titanfall 2. We'll be playing for the respect I'm owed and an apology.
Now, on to this week's episode.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that accidentally does 3 horror games back to back. I am your host, Mr. Lava Lava, and with me as always are my co-hosts.
Cardinal Smith, also a co-host. Hi.
Mr. John Sherry hasn't been sacked yet. What a shocker.
Tomahawk here. It's nice to be back. It feels like an absolute eternity since we last did this. Like
a week.
It's been
a
a week.
I mean, it's only been a week, but it feels like it's been about bloody 3 months at this rate. Trying to get us all to do anything.
Yes. But it's a week of the show, it's been a week.
100%.
Definitely.
Okay, so just to recap the last episode 5, The Last of Us then. Basically, it was the permadeath, let's see who can get the furthest in the story mode run. And let's just take a wee look at how that went. I won, get the 3 points. Marginally beaten Tomahawk, who walks away with the 2. Cardinal, who has never seen the game, heard of the game, nor played the game before, still somehow gets a point above our boy, our rock solid foundation, Sherry.
I'm never moving.
And that means the current leaderboard is as follows. In 4th place, he's been there from the beginning. He's probably going to be there at the end. It's Sherry, boy. And then Sherry with 4 points. Sitting above him, 1 win away from bottom, is Cardinal with 7. And then Tom is 2nd with 10 points. And sitting pretty at the top, looking down on you all, is me with 10 points. And if you remember very correctly, the only reason I'm top of the leaderboard, despite the fact me and Tom are drawn, is the simple fact that I have 1 more challenges than him. 2 to his 1. Tom's been consistent.
It's tight at
We've
the top.
been yo-yoing each week.
To be fair,
Not me.
the league's pretty tight. Top 3 anyway. But
I'm
Sherry's
trying to think
only
what's more
1 win
exciting,
away.
though. Well, that's it, though. What's going to be more exciting? Sherry, can he hold out bottom all
Yes.
10 episodes? Or
No one's taking it from me.
I'm not
6
safe enough
episodes
in 3rd. I don't have 3rd secured. And I know there's some games that Sherry's going to like that's going to put me in trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
So I'm going to try and play better.
all
maybe.
it takes is for Cardinal to slip up and Sherry to play a blinder, and it's all changed the bottom. It's all changed the bottom. At the top, there's nothing separating me and Tom except the fact that he's inadequate at more games than I am, to be fair. So
like
it
I
is.
said, it's a second half. It's a fresh start. I'm ready to play. So Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, and there's some games coming up that, to be fair, there's some games coming up I'm pretty sure none of us are going to be any good at.
No.
So there are
And
some-
today's challenge is going to be a real tricky one for the points in the league. Too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This week's challenge is an interesting one, shall we say? But before we get into the challenge game, what is High Scores, High Stakes? It's basically 4 friends, us 4, are playing a different game every week. And rather than just playing games for the crack of it, we decided let's make wee challenges up every single week and compete against one another in a league. Winner gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point, and last place gets 0. And that is why Sherry is so far behind, because he's picking up more zeros than anyone else. He's doing God's work. He's keeping us safe from those zeros by taking them all for himself.
Captain Zero already.
Yep. But obviously, we all play games and not just challenge games. So, Cardinal, tell me, what have you been playing this week? Undoubtedly, it's going to be some obscure tactical PC game, I'm sure. Can't wait to hear about this.
Come
one.
on. Look, come on. It's not PC. Well, it is PC, but it's also PlayStation and other programs. It's not strategy tactical. It's definitely not classical. It's just the original Red Alert, Command and Conquer Red Alert, which I downloaded. Or no, I got again because I have it. It's one of the first PlayStation 1 games I ever got, and I played it from start to finish, as without cheats. With everything, completed the Soviet campaign this week. Thank you very much. Night.
Lovely. Is Red Alert the one with Tim Curry?
That's
It
what
is,
I was
isn't it?
thinking.
He's the Nod guy, am I right?
Yes, I played the other side, but
GDI?
yes, it's some brilliant acting and actors. It's lovely.
The guy who plays Kane as well, the bald fella from Nod. What a game. I actually forgot that existed.
So did I. I haven't seen Command and Conquer in a long time.
Years.
Too long.
What a game, though.
I know what I'm
So, Tom, Command and Conquer is this game franchise
I'm
that
aware
used
of
to
what
exist
Command and Conquer is.
back in the day.
Oh, boys. I know that my
What have you
gaming
been
knowledge
playing?
can be sketchy and spotty, but come on. Like, you need to give me some credit here. I've definitely heard of your Command and Conquer.
By the joke.
Command & Conquer was everywhere. I remember, playing that on the PlayStation 1, even though the PlayStation 1 had the most horrific controller for real-time strategy games. But what a game! It just became, every map was the same thing. Just make tanks rush to the opposite base. Done. What a game. What about you,
Yep,
Shai?
played it 25 years later.
How are you playing it on PC?
There is a free resource site. There's also remastered editions were just launched.
Because it's a Windows 98 game, isn't it? So
Yeah,
Windows 98. Remember 95? Windows 95.
Probably both, but it's freely available there on the interweb.
I saw there's someone has developed a Windows 95 and 98 wraparound for games. Now you can play most of the early Windows stuff.
You absolutely can. There's some browser-based places that will host it for you and emulate it, but there's DOSBox and there's things you can download that just plug into DOSBox and you can play any game you like on a modern machine.
I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. Play Command & Conquer.
Turn it on your PS5 and enjoy
Go.
life.
Lamb games. What about you, Shay? What have you been playing, mate? Let me guess.
Not much.
Riders
Literally not
Republic.
much. No, you're wrong, actually. It being WrestleMania week. Well, WrestleMania will be over by the time people hear this. But just a bit of WE2K 24? Is it 23? I can't remember how they...
23. Would be
Is it 23?
23
I
now.
can't remember if they did
Yeah.
the year before, like FIFA does, or the year after, sorry. Or the year of.
No,
But
they
yeah,
did
just-
the year
just
it
doing
was
that.
released, yeah.
Yeah, so I've just been doing to the John Cena showcase on that, and just watching wrestling documentaries on the on the network, just waiting for WrestleMania. My life has been very boring this week, to be fair.
No, has the
Just
like
a
has the
load of real
2K
life stuff.
games for has the 2K games for WWE, have they not like not changed since 2014. Am I right in saying? I feel as if like they're just cut and
No.
paste each year.
So they had the horror show back in 2019, which led 2020's version to be completely cancelled outright, and they rebuilt the game. And then last year's version was the first one in like 2 years, something like that.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
it was very good. And then this one's just iterative. Like it's not, it's just better. It looks better, plays a bit smoother, but it's mostly the same game, but with like an extra
Right,
couple of game
okay.
modes.
Yeah, who used to develop them before? Was it Yux?
Yux, yeah.
Yux,
They
'cause
are
the-
doing the AEW game now.
Because Yux, yeah, it was the same game engine since like 2012. And then,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
The 2K engine apparently is like just so messed up at this point that they still use Yux code. So I remember seeing like a load of
right.
stuff on Twitter about how AEW Fight Forever looks very similar, and that's because they're literally using the same animations that Yux made. So Yux is just remaking their own work, but with AEW's skin on it.
Incredible. I thought it was your boys who made the 64 games making the AEW game, no?
AKI? No.
Eh.
It's in the style of that. So it's not they're not going for sim, they're going for over the top action, like the old like No Mercies, but it's still gonna be the Yux making it.
I was actually really looking forward to AEW game just because I thought
I
it
still
was
can't wait.
Now I know it's not them. I'm like, pass.
Shouldn't have told you then.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, I would have supported that product. Not a
It looks
doubt.
fantastic. It looks
Also-
fantastic. Like we might end up with in a world where there's 2 good wrestling games and
What a
2
world.
decent promotions.
Tune in next
just
week
wanna-
for Sherry's massive disappointment at how poor WrestleMania
It
is.
was. Yeah. And how Ring of Honor stole the weekend.
Random fact before Tom tells us about a game. You were talking about how the company used the code from that 2012 game. Whatever they're called, I can't remember because it's wrestling. Yux. But there's an old racing game called Grand Prix Legends, came out in 1998. It's old classic 50s, 60s cars. It was developed by Papyrus, and then there was a company called First bought that in 2003 and used the code from that 1998 game today to make iRacing, which is still the biggest racing community game out there today.
That's amazing.
And the code from 98 is still implemented partly in today.
That is incredible.
Crazy.
It sounds like
Joyous.
if it's not broken, don't fix it type of situation.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, obviously been advanced on, but anyway, Tom, sorry.
Light the beacons, lads. Alien Isolation is done.
Yes.
It's finished. It's
Burn
only
it.
taken me 7 years to do it.
Yeah. It took
What?
Ridley Scott less time to make the first movie.
What a game. Absolutely. It is, I would say it's nearly perfect.
Yes.
I just felt a bit shortchanged at the end. Just tiny bit shortchanged. Because it just, I know it's an Alien game and it's just gonna just boom, end, done. And then give you that little bit of a tease into potentially a part 2. But I was just like, as soon as it finished, I was just like, I know this is when you get back to the Torrens and it makes you go the long way around. You're like, yeah, I know this is the beginning of the end here. Like,
that was the bit.
it's just, I actually finished it and just went, oh, I'm so glad. I'm annoyed at myself that I didn't do it sooner, but it was fantastic. Everything about that game was utterly perfect. Even the moment, I think I said to you, Lova, when you're down in the nest and it just suddenly turns to aliens. It just suddenly goes from horror to action.
Yep.
It's great.
You're fully
Fantastic.
Loaded. You're fully loaded.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. What a game. What a
So
game.
I finished that. So for the sake of continuity, it's Thursday. We're recording today. I finished it on Monday. I haven't played anything since. I've kind of got a few bits and pieces lined up. I've got Jedi Order or Fallen Order ready to go. I've also been playing John Wick Hex off
Yes.
PlayStation Plus. I
Is that any
played
good?
it for about 15, 20 minutes. I thought it was going to be very similar to Hotline Miami. It's a bit slower than Hotline Miami.
That's from your boy, whose name escapes me, but he made Thomas Was Alone and he made Volume and all. So he did.
Jonathan Blow, is it? No, it's
No,
not.
no, Jonathan Blow made Braid It'll come. His name will come. But I
So
love his games. His games are brilliant.
Hex was really cool. It's like just slow paced enough, but I mean, I played it for like 10 minutes basically just to get a feel for it. But it looks good. It's smooth, and I'm probably gonna crack on with that in between Star Wars. To be fair, I'd said to you earlier I was thinking of toying with playing Arkham Knight, but
Yep.
I don't know. There's very little replayability. I think in Arkham Knight particularly.
Yeah.
I think because they focus it so much on getting trophies, the Riddler trophies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about that life anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been playing a lot.
What have you been playing?
Capcom Arcade. Capcom Arcade. So I've been.
Do anything
Captain
normal, do you?
Capcom.
Don't play normal games, do you, lover? Just put yourself in a box.
Capcom Arcade is great. So it is. I've been playing Volume 2. And I've been playing in that mostly Ghosts and Goblins.
What a game!
It is
Wow.
Quality.
it's the arcade version, so it's absolutely savage. It just absolutely decimates you completely. So it does. It's great. Those Capcom Arcade collections are brilliant, and I think they're on sale in the spring sale. There, well worth the money. Well worth it. They're brilliant.
I think I have it with Ghosts and Goblins because they give it away for free, didn't they, when they first launched?
If you pre-ordered it. If you pre-ordered it, I think you
Very
got
good.
Ghosts and Goblins for free, or Ghouls and Ghosts, whatever one it is. It's one of those two. They're the same game anyway, in my opinion. So they are. But yeah, I've been playing that. And Sonic Origins with Little Lava, like, he absolutely is
Very good.
obsessed with that.
He's a Sonic fanatic, isn't he?
Yeah, I am tempted to boot up Sonic Adventure 2 and let him have a go at Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, because he's been playing Sonic Forces by himself. So he has been, and he just calls me whenever he's a boss. And that game got some horrific reviews. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I thought that was the general consensus of Sonic Forces was kind of, and then Sonic Colors was like a better version, but was a lot of drawbacks to it.
Yeah, I thought Forces is fine. What I've seen of it looks all right. It doesn't look buggy. It doesn't look broken. The boss fights are absolutely atrocious. They are dreadful. The second boss fight pulls the camera like Super Mario 3D World, you know, isometric weird thing. And because Sonic moves so fast, you don't know where you are. You don't know where you're going to land. And there's no depth perception. It makes it. It's not like brutally hard because Sonic still has that lock-on jumping mechanic thing. But yeah, it makes it more difficult than what it probably is and what it should
ever be.
Yeah, Little Lover just like, I have a boss fight, Daddy, come on in, play this game. So, I'm like, no, please, no. And that in Sonic Origins, he's absolutely, apparently his favourite Sonic game is Sonic CD. What a call, by the way. He's absolutely wrong, because the best Sonic 2D game is 3 and Knuckles, but whatever. Each to their own.
He's young, he'll learn. He'll learn.
That's it. That is it. Anything else anyone wants to mention or chat about before we move on to Le Challenge?
Oh no, I don't want to talk about. Can we stay here forever? I don't want to talk about Le Challenge.
I know, I really don't want to talk about it. I definitely don't know what to
We
talk
should
about
just
this
stay in
challenge.
this. We should definitely not segment away from this part here. We'll just sign off now.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye. See you next week.
Bye.
I, on the other hand, can't wait to discuss the game. Let's go to it. So this week's challenge game was The Evil Dead, and the challenge was really, really simple, and we're calling it The Leveler. Basically, it is a 3 versus 1, top of the league being the 1 versus the rest of the lads. That means it was me as the Evil Dead, and these boys as the survivors, which may or may not be accurate descriptions of what actually happened.
Oh dear. Like,
That was the aim.
when you
I mean-
think handicap game, you think that they're tailored to the many. No, I hate them.
No,
Like, I have very little experience in them. You know, you play Friday the 13th, you've got The Evil Dead, this one, and then you've got Death by Daylight. Or Dead by Daylight, sorry.
Dead, yeah.
I hate them all. I hate them all.
Dead by Daylight's fun.
That's what I was going to say. I like Dead by Daylight. I think Dead by Daylight is really well balanced. Yes, the killer has obviously benefits to being a killer, and he is stronger than the rest of them, but Dead by Daylight is one of the very few where if you are a lone survivor, you can still win. Whereas in Friday the 13th, you're snookered. As soon as people start dying,
you're
the
bound
odds
by
are
your
just-
team.
the odds are just stacked against you. The Evil Dead was the same. I think it's only fair to mention that none of us had ever played the Evil Dead before.
We all had to do the tutorial prior to record, so that's never a good sign. Like,
Yeah, we did specifically download it to play this challenge.
I will say we did after the tutorial play around, and things were going all right. But then Mick glitched and got stuck in a basement.
No,
or
no.
I think when
or like
you're-
under the
when you're
stairs
hit-
or something.
I
when you're
didn't
hit by a
glitch.
car so hard, you're rendered off the map. That's
He love
Brilliant.
trapped me under a car. You got into the car. You managed to wiggle it out so I could get into
Yeah.
the car, and then you flipped the car upside down, and I fell through the map.
I didn't flip the car upside
See,
down.
what actually happened? As someone who wasn't bound to the map by a character skin and a character model, I saw the whole thing unfold. What happened was you guys were in like a dilapidated building trying to get a piece of the Book of the Dead.
map, yeah.
And I saw you had driven there in the Evil Dead. Once you get into a car, it makes noise, and as the killer, it pings on a map the general area where you are. So I flew there, saw the car sitting outside, saw the three of you in the building, and thought, I can possess cars. I wonder if I can make the car fit in that building. So that's what I did. I possessed the car, rammed it into the building where it was never meant to fit. To be fair, the car glitched through the wall
Steady. into
the building, squashing Sherry underneath it. Now, Sherry was still in the map at that point.
I took
What's
no
happened?
damage.
What's happened? You were trapped behind the car in a corner of the building, but you couldn't jump over the car because of the angle the car was at. Cardinal, being a team player, has went, you know what? I will help you out. And Cardinal jumps into the front seat of the car, and it's Cardinal's character model, and the collision detection has then forced Sherry
But I was
through
in
the map.
I was in the car at one point.
No. You clipped
No, I did.
through the car.
I did. I was in the car.
That's not what
There's
I saw.
bound to be a way we can VAR this and
It's
just
amazing.
we'll overlay this into the
I will
record
say,
here.
as soon as this happened, I was ready to just uninstall this game. I had had enough. 10 minutes of this at this point was just enough for me. Like, I was like, I am done with this game. This game is trash.
And on that note, luckily, we started again.
Yes.
Mick in a fantastic mood.
Now,
I
would
turned my
say
microphone off at this point.
that first run, the game has a tutorial. Obviously, I knew I was going to be the Evil Dead, so I did the Evil Dead tutorial, and it doesn't help you at all in the main game. It focuses far too much on it. As you are the Evil Dead, my job is to terrify the survivors. There's a fear meter. It builds up and it sort of eats away at your health the more scared you are. So it's my job to scare you, to kill you. And the tutorial for that part of the game focuses far too much on like max fear level. So it's showing you how to do things that in a game you won't be able to do for about 20 minutes.
Until you
So
built
when
up
I-
to it, essentially.
When we started that first game, I hadn't a clue what I was doing because the tutorial didn't tell you. Doesn't tell you at all.
I think it was the same for us as well, because in the tutorial for the survivors, they tell you to pick the map pieces, then you've got to get the Book of the Dead as well, and then the Kandarian dagger. But it guides you in a straight line, basically, to all of those bits. Whereas when you jump into the map,
It's a massive
the map's
open world.
humongous.
The
The
map
map is
is-
absolutely massive.
And
So-
doesn't even tell you where. It's like,
Yeah.
it's near blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's near here. It's near there. It's near everywhere. By the way, you've got 20 minutes to do it. Good luck.
And then when there's three of us trying to backseat drive, it was an utter recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
And as Love said, like, driving's completely irrelevant because as soon as you get into the car, you're snookered. Like,
it's not that.
That's
It
just
doesn't.
bad.
It doesn't pinpoint you it just sort of makes this. It's really hard to explain. So the map takes up the full screen, and when you get into a car, it says someone is driving a car. The car is making noise, and then when you go to the map, is a massive circle icon of whoever is driving the car, and it's just moving. But you have to keep it in earshot, otherwise, if you go out of my earshot, then I can't see you anymore. And it's because the icon is so big, it only gives you like an air. I don't know exactly where you are. I do know
that's
exactly.
Dependent on where you are on the map, then.
Yeah, but there's no.
Okay.
If you walked everywhere, you wouldn't have enough time to finish it because the map's too big.
No.
And
So
the game giving you that, even though it's a large circle, it's still far better than going, oh, it's near here. By the way, if you're going there, you have to constantly pull your map up because you have no idea.
Yeah.
And the mini map on your screen is absolutely tiny. Like, it's so zoomed in, it's awful. It might as well not exist.
Yeah. Shall we pull up the gameplay?
I'd rather just throw it in the fire, to be honest.
Let's pull it up.
Let's pull it up, because I think we're a lot of this is easier to explain if you can see it. Before we get into the group challenge game, there's one more game we have to cover here, mate. So there are. The avid listener will know after the end credits I put in little outtakes. Those who listened to episode 5 will notice after the outtake there was a grudge chip cash-in. Tomahawk has called me out for my behaviour in Back for Blood for leaving him for dead.
Despicable behaviour is what it was there, to be honest. But needs to be done. You need to be taken down a peg or two just for your attitude.
I disagree, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So the grudge chip, for those of you who don't know, the grudge chip works like this. Each of us gets one grudge chip a season, and we can use it anytime we want against any other player we want. If we use our grudge chip and we win our grudge match, we keep it, which means we can use it again. If we use our grudge chip and lose our grudge match, then we lose our chip as well. If we win our grudge match, we will take the points from the week that we are cashing in on from the player we play. So basically, Tom here is playing for 0 points because I got 0 points in Back for Blood. So, weird choice of a week to cash it in on, Tomahawk, mate.
It's more for pride. It's not so much the points. The points don't really matter. It's more pride. It's definitely a pride thing at the minute now. It's left a very salty taste in how everything went down. I still think, yes, we didn't win the challenge together, but I feel as if I could have been enough of an asset to fail slightly further along in the level than we did. So here we are.
So you've picked Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2.
Yes.
A first-person shooter, mate. And I can't help but feel there's a wee bit of tactics in here. You saw how poor I was at Call of Duty, and you went, you know what? I'll call Love out, and I'm going to pick the genre he is absolutely dreadful at.
I get where you're coming from, but there's, I don't know, Titanfall, you know yourself as better than anyone. Titanfall 2, it's not just any normal first-person shooter. No. I think it does something and offers something that maybe the standard Call of Duty game doesn't, and it's a good bit of fun. It's I could have easily picked a game that you didn't like or can't play or don't know, but I'm. You'll find that I'm kind. I'm a kind player. I'm going to give you a fighting chance. I mean, it's only fair.
I mean, in fairness, now you have, of all the first-person shooters, this is the one I have put the most hours into. It is a game I absolutely I love. Titanfall 2. You know, everyone knows about my love. I made everyone in group chat buy Titanfall 2 if you just because the population was down. I wanted someone to play with. But shall we get into the gameplay, mate?
Oh, absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Grudge chip.
Okay, so Titanfall 2. We've picked a small map. Well, as small as attrition mode allows us to pick. Attrition is basically team deathmatch. In attrition, it will spawn bots as well as us too. So we're not going to count any bot kills in the final score. What we are going to count are pilot kills, which is each other, and Titan kills. So whoever gets the most pilot and Titan kills will win this challenge completely, and that's you already 1-0 up. By the way,
Off
you
the
just killed
mark,
me.
yeah. Straight off the bat there.
Really, really.
No, it's funny
quickly.
when you say about the bot kills, because I do it. I notice this in the playback. I kill a lot of bots, and I think I kind of forgot that the more you kill them, the quicker you get your Titan as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I was sitting there going, "Oh, this is just give me something to do, fill content," and then I realized, oh, this will get me the whole point of this game is to get my Titan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do that.
yeah. I'm also noticing I spend a lot of my time running along walls and stuff, and this map's great for it. All the maps in Titanfall 2 are brilliant. They all have loads of flat edges, and you can literally traverse the entire map without ever touching the ground.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
do that. It's very quickly I realised, I have to kill these bots, otherwise I'm never going to get my Titan. And we picked two very different Titans in this game as well. I picked the big heavy armoured, heavy duty, high damage output Titan. You picked the Ronin?
I did. I think I'm very sure. No, I know I changed the Ronin. I think usually the Ronin, and then I went for something else. I definitely changed it for this round, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. I figured that he was a bit too slow.
Yeah, the
for
Ronin,
what I needed it for.
Yeah, the Ronin is a good. It's good in a team game because it's a good support Titan. So it is. It's not very strong, and it doesn't have very high armor, but it moves quick. Whereas I think we played a round before this just to warm up. Your Ronin got absolutely
demolished. Every time it was there, it just couldn't survive. It couldn't last long. So I think I opted for the kind of bog standard, has a big assault rifle, the kind of standard Ronin, the standard Titan that you usually get. I think at the start of even in the missions, basically in the campaign mode.
Yeah. And again, here we are again. You're killing me. I've literally flown over your head.
We've done a quality amount of shooting, but not necessarily at each other. In this, you do forget. I feel as if it's meant to be 5v5, but I feel as if the game spawns far too many bots.
See, I liked it because I think this had the potential. If it was 1v1, there's in Titanfall, even the smallest map is big. Because obviously they have to allow you to wall run and do the parkour business and stuff, and obviously it needs to be big enough to accommodate up to 10 Titans. Well. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
Even the smallest map is massive. So I think, probably to be fair, if it wasn't for the bots, this would have been a really boring 10 minutes for anyone to watch.
Yeah, that's it.
It would have been me and you just running around the map a lot, trying to find each other.
Trying to find each other.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think after we played this, I think it's definitely one that could be brought into the main body of the podcast as well. I think it's a good bit more fun than the standard Call of Duty, particularly when we did gun game as well. And there's me now just with my Titan now, just loading up on. Yeah.
So you're the first one to get the Titan down. I think I'm sitting at about. There's me, 100% now. So I can call my Titan at any time. But I always do. I do the same sort of thing usually. I wait until I die, and then when I respawn, I will call my Titan down.
Oh, you call with it then?
No. I am seldom. I will respawn myself, and then tactically use my Titan. So I thought I was going to die there because I was taking your Titan on head to head, and I've called my Titan down now. Now I would seldom ever be inside my Titan. I allow it to go into protect mode, which means it kind of follows me around in a circle and will keep me safe.
Oh yes.
Plus it makes a massive target, and people will always assume that you're inside your Titan.
Plus, you have the heavy as well, so he's just going to dole out some amount of damage regardless.
I picked that one for two reasons. Number one, it was level 11. It was my highest leveled Titan. And two, it's got high damage output, and this was a challenge in killing each other. Yeah, so how do you kill each other? By putting out damage.
Exactly. And that's another one. I think my Titan's electromagnetic field went off, and that's killed yourself again there as well. So I'm feeling confident at the minute. I think that's 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to cheapen your achievements in this game. However, I was playing. There was no risk in this. This was risk free for me. So I was
That's it.
really just having fun.
But the thing is, though, I think where you potentially
And that's
fail
me,
on
just-
this is you could strip me of a grudge ship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you've
true,
kind of
true. But
there's always a bit of a stake involved, at least anyway, or the
I mean-
content at the end of the day. Now it turns out.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Maybe if I had played this tactically, I would have put in a good, solid effort. I didn't actually think of that. Tactically strip you of your thing. There's another.
No, I think
kill
I've
there.
killed myself here. I actually think I killed myself by accident there trying to shoot a grenade, but I will never know.
Definitely come up my screen as a pilot kill. Therefore, I'm counting it. It's mine. That's two. I've killed you twice now. So I think it might have actually been my Titan, not me. But yeah, so I just basically, you can see from my gameplay, I just like wall running and stuff. It's just that's what the game was built around. So it's just what the game is built around. And what I love the most about it is it takes what the good parts of Call of Duty, like it's weighty, it's meaty, the weapons feel great. You get a real sense of impact whenever you're hitting someone. It's the sound, it's the visual cues, it's everything. But then they put that extra layer on top of the massive robots. And my favorite is the grappling hook. The grappling hook in this game is just it's the game that started the infatuation with the grappling hook in gaming for me.
Yeah, it's a detail that I probably underutilize in this as well, and whenever I do poorly. As you see there, I can't time it, or I've either landed as it's grappled, so it's completely useless to me at that point.
Yeah, I'm just watching your screen. Sometimes when you do try to wall run, you don't allow yourself to. You jump regularly, and it's just like just let yourself just go with it. Just go with it.
That's it. Yeah,
You wall run
I
until you
think
hit another.
It's very
piece
much
of terrain.
a rusty attitude to this, but I tell you what, though, I'm watching my screen here again, and your Titan just will not die.
This Titan is just an absolute monster.
But it's in meltdown mode. It's in its final phases here. I'm pretty sure at this point, if I remember correctly, I've got into my new Titan.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
your
hunt you
Titan's
down and
done.
try and finish you off at this point.
Yeah. So we take our Titans two very different ways. Whenever I see you spawn your Titan, I try to grapple hook onto you so I can get on your back and pop the wee grenade in, whereas you run away. Which is probably a wiser tactic, to be fair. But here I am here. Now, this is an absolute nonsense kill, by the way.
That is. No, I'm not even. You're not even in the kill box. Like you're just.
I don't know how I died there. You move and it kills me, and I'm not too sure how. Your Titan moves and I wind up dead, despite the fact I'm 10 feet behind it. But it's at this point when we realise, oh yeah, there's a time limit here.
That's right. Yes, because it's. I suppose we'll see just as the end of the show, because I forget that the game just doesn't. It's exactly what Call of Duty does. When the time limit finishes, the game finishes, and this is also what I think I love about Titanfall, especially in the attrition and the multiplayer as a whole. The game just doesn't end. It actually just throws more game at you.
Yes. I actually forgot about that. See, when the game ended, I was like, okay, well, that's that, really. But then I totally forgot about the sub game where the losing team have to make it to the dropship. So it's basically one life. It's your last life.
That's it. Like the respawn gets disabled, basically. So I think at this point I'm in the Titan. At this point now I'm thinking, right, I've done what I need to do. I'm gonna hold the line, we'll say.
Yep. And
And
then
just
I give you a free kill there, so I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Let's grapple hook straight into the Titan's gun. I've no idea what I was thinking. But this game's brilliant. It was made by Respawn. You might remember that's Vince Zampella, the guy who made Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So he is at Infinity Ward. That was this way. They didn't like where Activision were taking Call of Duty, and they left and made their own development team, and that's where this comes from.
They took all of their parts and basically molded it into Titanfall. Now this is the one bit that gets me every time.
Boom. Just dropping my Titan on top of your Titan. I mean, the game's over, but still.
If you're
any
gonna end,
chance?
you're gonna end with a bang.
Any chance? It's still, I don't think it counts as a Titan kill or nothing, so I don't believe so.
Something you get something for it at least anyway. But this is the now because I'm trying to now hunches down. You get a couple of minutes to get to your drop zone, and at this point, I'm intercepting. That's all I'm doing. If I come across a grunt, I'm gonna shoot it, pray it's you.
Yep.
And see what happens, really. But
see, I had a fair idea that was what you were going to do. You were going to go straight for the dropship and just pick us off as I ran. So I went the long way around. I ran around the outside of the map and then just sort of cut across because I know I'm a better free runner in this game than you are. And I'm a better runner. Let's just be honest, I am. And then, there we go. I'll make it back to the dropship.
And then I get wiped out by your Titan just for good measure then as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's what it's there for. It's its only job. It's a war machine, so it is.
That's it.
But yeah, so that's it. Absolutely walloped me. So you did, to be fair. Yeah. So I think in the end it's 6-3 to you, which means you keep your
for another week.
Keep your grudge chip.
No, that was it felt nice just to get a bit of negative feelings off my chest there as well. If done in the form of robots smashing robots, then what way to do it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one way of doing it. I mean, personally, I would have waited until a week where I got some points and then cashed it in. But that's what I would have done.
Genius. This is the genius of being able to keep the chip now because I can do it again. Ooh.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I had thought about it, I probably would have put a bit more effort in. That was a game of there's nothing at stake in this for me. I'm just going to have fun and enjoy it. And do you know what? I really did. I actually really did. I thought it was just going to... I installed Titanfall for that game, and my plan was, let's uninstall it. But I haven't. That's that. That is the grudge chip cashed in.
No, I think I need to hear it.
Tom wins 0 points, but more importantly, he keeps his grudge chip, and he wants an apology. Tom, listen, mate. I'm sorry that you couldn't run on the bridge when I said run. But that's it. Let's get back to the main challenge game now. What was that? Is it still Thursday? Yeah. Where's Cardinal?
He's been abducted.
That is really weird. Were we hacked? I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know.
Where were we anyway? What were we talking about before we were so brutally interrupted?
Need to go into the challenge.
Evil Dead.
Let's get stuck into it, boys. Okay, guys, so this is it. The leveler then. Use 3 versus me in the Evil Dead. I am playing some disembodied spirit. Use 3 are survivors. I can see that Tom is Ash. Cardinal is some woman. And I believe, Sherry, are you a woman too?
No, I was like the medieval guy.
Yeah, the medieval guy. Okay, so I'm presuming, did all your characters have like different attributes and stats and stuff, or what was the crack there?
Yeah, they have.
Not that I was aware of, but
they do.
Alright.
Tom just said pay attention. So the only one, I didn't go through all of them, so I don't know what Tom's and Cardinals was, but my guy starts off the round with an extra shield capacity. So he starts off with 2 instead of 1, I think. Everyone else starts off with.
Sorry. Yes, that's right. They're all either like leader or like a support or something else like that, aren't they? Right. I think Ash is like the leader tier, I suppose. So I'm not 100% sure. Again, I think we had little prep time going into this. You know, having to do the tutorial 10 minutes prior to record. So I wasn't aware of much of his attributes. I genuinely thought that he would start with his chainsaw hand, so I was a bit disappointed that didn't manifest.
Yeah. I at this particular moment in time in this game, I am wandering around wondering why I can't open any portals like the tutorial told me to do. And it's because the tutorial was absolute gubbins. It is probably the worst tutorial to a multiplayer game I have ever seen, especially when you consider your characters have classes, they have attributes, they do different things in the team, and they all do different things. It's the same on the Evil Dead side, or whatever it's called. There's 3 different teams you can pick, and they all have like different skills. They can all do different things, and they all have like different strengths and weaknesses. It's bizarre that the tutorial tells you it tells you nothing. So right now I am just wandering around a very small area of map, wondering what I am meant to be doing right now. And I'm just collecting the orb because that's the only thing the tutorial tells me to do. Collect the orb to allow you to set traps and to...
Well, that kind of powers you up then, does it?
No, it just gives me... See, if you look at my screen in the bottom, it says my name and under it's like a red bar. So that red bar just allows... It's like ability points, but every time I do something, it takes an ability point. So I'm driving this car at the minute, but it's taking every couple of seconds, it's taking some ability points off of me. So everything I do costs me orb. So it does. The level that I'm trying to build is my terrorism level, which sounds really bad for a Northern Irish podcast.
No, I guess there. As well. I think the general sort of idea is for the 3 survivors to kind of stay together, stay in light, stay, within eyeshot of each other. Otherwise, then that fear level, we're only a couple of minutes into this, and the fear level is already up to number 2.
Yeah, and that's
so
just with
you
me
can see that we're not
traps.
together. We're pretty much just we've pretty much abandoned all kind of team element here, and I think we've all kind of just scattered ourselves to the wind here for a few minutes.
Yeah,
The one thing I hated about this game, right, and I'll tell you why, because I think we kind of briefly covered it in the top post of this game.
Mm-hmm.
The fear level rises like really significantly. You'll see it later on in the gameplay, especially on my screen, when you're separated.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, the game map's massive. You're penalized really heavily for using a car.
Mm-hmm.
So you only really have the choice of going in separate ways. Like there's always going to be someone going, and I'm assuming your fear level decreases or doesn't increase as quickly if you're in a group of 4, because I believe it's 4v1 actually this game, rather than 3v1, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're absolutely right.
does it increase as quick if you're the 4, or rather in 2 teams of 2, or?
Well,
I would
think...
imagine so. It's probably one of those cases where we've been penalized for not being at full strength, really. So
yeah,
who knows,
and I think there's a couple of mechanics here, isn't there? So I think your fear level it goes up faster when you're separated. It goes up faster when you're in the dark. Because don't you have the ability to light torches and bonfires and stuff?
Yeah,
and
you have matches and you
you
have to light lanterns and bonfires, and the idea is you're supposed to take it a little step at a time, go to each station essentially. I think if you're in the light, your meter goes down, but
yes, really slowly compared to the way it rises.
The rises,
because I did it in the first game before I got bugged through the map. And I didn't even bother this game because I didn't see the benefits for the amount of time you spent looking for the matches to light them. Didn't really.
You did. I remember you did throw a wobbly on the combat as well, because in the tutorial it prompts you R3 for like a finisher, and
it does.
I think I remember you shouting several times that, it doesn't even like recognize a finisher, so what's the point?
Yeah, the start of the gameplay was the worst part, because then I kind of gathered, I need to hit them twice before I use the finisher move. But fair enough, like different, your weapons have different stats, so obviously my loot in this round was awful, so I think I ended the game with just like a blue or a green sword.
Yeah.
But the game should know what it takes to finish using the weapon you currently have. That's just bad development, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I think just on like a separate note from what you guys are doing, I have like I don't know if your characters do, but in this game I have like a skill tree. So when I do certain things, so what you can do in this in the Evil Dead is you can possess things like cars, you can possess people, you can take control of survivors and stuff, but you can also like set traps in like loot chests, you can set traps around bonfires, you can set traps around trees and stuff like that. Every sort of action you do like that, it builds a pot and you can make yourself stronger, and it gives you the ability to do more and more things. It took me a long while to realize that I had a map. And only now am I realizing, hold on, if I look at the map, I can see kind of where you are. And if you look at my screen right now, I am chugging it across the map. Yeah, I am chugging it across the map to get
the one
these.
thing I'm really enjoying, especially on like the Evil Dead side of things, then love it, is that it's so true to the movies as well. It could have just been this like really kind of poor imitation of it, but no, it just because you're the disembodied spirit and you're first person essentially, it just looks great.
It's brilliant. And that's the first thing that jumped up at me is all those little cutaways from the movie of like this disembodied noise just whoosh, fly into the door of the cabin and stuff, and it captures it perfectly in this game.
I
It's
do
one of
need to
my
ask
favourite
though,
things.
is the character as a sort of controlling aspect, is it easier to control than it is driving the car? Can I ask?
So I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but the driving controls are taken straight from Halo Combat Evolved, where you don't control the vehicle, you control the camera, and you go. It's kind of like strafing in a vehicle that
dear.
can't strafe.
Yeah.
But what I love about this is you do have quite a lot of ability. So yeah, if I hold my square button, I charge up. It's called a jump scare. And all what it does is
Yes.
it charges me up. It stops me from moving freely, and I can just then travel in a straight line for a set amount of distance. If I hit anyone, then you
very
get a
good.
jump scare, and then it bumps up your fear levels. And things like watching the car drive around by itself increases your fear level. Me beeping the horn and you hearing it increases your fear level.
Oh, did it? I didn't notice
Yes,
that.
yes,
I didn't
yes.
That's really
Like,
good. That's really
Every time you were
clever.
driving from the car, I was just watching.
So
I was
all,
just like,
so all of it bumps up your fear. It's I like the mechanics of it. I think with a bit of practice and a bit more understanding and a bit more of knowledge of how the game works, I think it could be brilliant. Like I had a lot of fun. So basically, what's happened here is you guys would take a car off me because I ran out of, and I'm just following you now, and I can travel almost as fast as the car. it's
I know
OP.
that's it. It's very tailored to the single player, at least
Yeah.
anyway, from what I've gathered here, definitely.
Yeah, it has to be. And I don't know if you can see on my screen there, you can see the icons for the dagger and the pages and stuff. It's one thing that you can, when you start the map, if you spin in a circle, I can see all of your objectives. So I can then, this is what I'm doing now, I'm running around setting portals and traps and between you and where I know you're going. And it's,
Do you spawn then the NPC characters? Like
Yeah,
I see the Sherry's fighting them.
I can, but no, they're already populated in the world.
They're self-generated. Okay.
I think once I get to a certain level, if you look at my screen, you'll see 3 wee icons, and they're my special abilities. But you can only access them at a certain like scare level, like a terrorism level or whatever it's called. But yeah,
Because we're very swiftly at level 6 for fear, and I
Yeah.
think that we've yeah.
it comes like you can open portals for like normal mobs, you can open portals for special mobs, and then you can like spawn yourself as like a boss character, but you need to be really high level for it. But right now I think I've took over Cardinal's
Yeah, I
body
love
and I'm
that.
absolutely wailing
That was
away.
it. It was.
Cardinals
was
hit
in
me,
this
and I
moment
just started
that-
wailing back. I was like, I don't care, it's me or you.
But I loved it
I think
because
it was at this point. I think we definitely were like, Maitland was just. Oh, you kept trying to goad us into going. Oh, just hit him with your gun or hit him with your hammer. You'll be grand. And then Cardinal was just like, please don't kill me.
but it was like
think-
it was so funny because every time I took over someone's body, because it was the most fun I had, you just see everyone else just scatter.
That's exactly it. The first time I think you took over Cardinal, I think I literally just said to the boys, just right, cheese it. Everyone go for a separate objective.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the way they balance it in this game is so I can obviously take over people, but it gives you like a set duration. So if you all scarper, I can't just jump out. I have to wait until the cooldown's done. So I can't just jump out and chase you. I have to stay. So I can, and the characters all move at different paces, or they seem to anyway. Cardinals.
If you watch my screen here, just after, I think it's just shortly after this, but Cardinal and Tom are both shouting at me, oh, go to the pages, we'll get the dagger, go to the pages, we'll get the dagger. So I'm following them because I know that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And then after I get possessed here, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to
Game
go for
over.
the pages then.
Yeah,
Because
so-
I knew at that point, my fear level being that high,
Yeah.
because I'm so far behind you, because I'm just constantly having to fight things off.
Because I think at that point of the game there, I had to take over your body, and my plan was I'm just going to walk you away from them to separate you from the group. But then you never came back, so I'm down here terrorizing Tom,
Yeah, that's me turning
and
around.
Cardinal.
Going
I'm
all the way.
absolutely terrorizing them, and I'm like, "Where is Sherry?" And you disappeared off my map. I couldn't see where you were, and then you went for the page, and then it just goes ping, because you get like a voice, and it's like, with all your powers, just getting another objective. Stop them before it's too late. And I was like, no bother.
So I take it, yeah. So you're notified when we complete an objective as well. Okay.
Yes. So it goes.
So for
"They're
every
bigger,
map
stronger."
piece, you were like, it was telling you we find a map piece basically.
Yeah. So it just.
Can you just
berates
explain
you.
to me, Love, as well? One of your abilities, I keep seeing the cauldrons being popped
No
up.
idea.
No idea.
know.
Okay.
Don't know. But they made Cardinal scared of them, so I thought maybe they're doing something. I've no clue what to do. So when I placed the cauldrons, it's like there's like an area of effect circle, but
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
no idea what it does. I
I
thought
think
it was
it
going
made it
to
more
draw mobs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because that's what's every time I stood in them, you'll see it when I get to the pages. There's one there, and it just seems to be never ending.
Yeah,
And there's one there.
but I'm not certain what it does. I got the impression that it was drawing mobs towards any player in the circle, but that's Cardinal down, so he is.
He's
And
bled out. No, I think at that point you've walked me away because you
Yeah.
possessed me then at that point. So I'm no help at that point. I'm not entirely sure what happened on my screen here. I think at this point I thought, right, Love has got me. I'm dead. I'm just gonna like put the controller down. It turns out.
There you go. Meanwhile, I'm going back to where Cardinal is down, and I'm going to set traps around the tree. I think at this point of the game, I try to possess the tree. You can possess trees. They're called evil trees. And you can just swing a big branch. But I know you're going to go back for Cardinal, because in the group chat, Cardinal's screaming for help. Please help me. Don't leave me here
and
to die.
that's right. And I don't leave my teammates to die. So yeah, because I'm a good partner. You see.
See, it's funny you should say that, because I'm looking at Cardinal's screen right now, and it says, "You are dead."
The thing is, though, in my defense, you can't bunny hop all the way there. So
No, well, in your defense, you can't do that in Back for Blood either. So, but here we are.
La-dee-da.
But yes, so you're attacking the cauldron for some reason. Everyone's frightened of the cauldrons, even though no one had any idea what to do. And I'm just sitting watching you, laughing. It's like he hasn't noticed his health is really low right now.
And I'm just sitting here chilling, waiting for the world's slowest timer to go up.
And there's
Look how slow it is.
Yes, and there's Tomahawk starting to bleed out. See, those timers, I'm presuming, Sherry, it's slow for one person, but
Yeah.
it's like control points in COD, because we know that's the only language you understand. The more people you get in the control point, the faster
Yeah,
the
the
count
quicker you
goes
cap.
up. Yeah.
This point in the comms is so funny though, because Tom and Cardinal are like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You told me to come over here. What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm doing what you told me to do."
We very quickly turned on each other. I think the second.
No,
that,
he's turned on me.
All I want to say is my favorite part of the chat was, before this game started, I did say, "Do you want me to leave this group so you can strategize?" And you're like, nah, it's grand.
No.
And I'm pretty sure that Cardinal was like, "We need to go to the cabin on
Yeah,
this
he
part of the
named
map,"
it.
and we're just, oh, good grief.
Yeah, yes.
Straight away, give the location away.
But you see, I thought he was doing, and obviously, clearly he wasn't. I was giving him far too much credit. I thought he was going, "We must go to the cabin," but in actual fact, you were going to the graveyard or something. You're trying to misdirect me.
Thing is, though, I think he did try and do it, and
yeah.
but he ended up naming the second location over from where we actually were. So it wasn't even to say that it was subtle.
Yeah. I know it was right now. Sherry is
Fighting
still
for my
trying
life.
to cap. Are you? Are you?
Yeah, but
fighting?
I get so close.
So
it's like
I'm presuming
take away.
it's a proximity thing to cap
Yeah, you have to
these
stay in that
items,
circle.
these circles.
Yeah.
And if
So
there's
you
a-
have to go when you first approach it. You have to hold down triangle, and then it'll like fill that wee bar
to
around
capture
that button.
it, yeah.
Then it like kind of explodes out, and then creates this wee circle. You have to stay in to cap it.
Right. So basically, if there's an enemy in that circle, does it still count up, or does
I
it
don't
stop?
believe so. No.
So it is exactly like control point in COD.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an enemy, or what do you call it? What do you
There's
call
me
it? An
down.
Unreal Tournament. There we go. That's all three down. I just spawned myself as a skeleton and went, "Let's go."
I tried.
Fisticuffs. Mono a mono.
I tried.
And
I
then that,
lasted really long after them too. To be
And that's the end of it. So this is my team, and those two ghouls on the other side of me are who you can spawn and stuff like that. But let's go to the roundup of the challenge, boys. Okay, so that was the challenge there, and I think we can describe that for you, gentlemen, as an unmitigated disaster.
Utter shambles.
You dance with the devil, and you're going to get burnt, boys, and that's exactly what happened.
It was awful.
You tried to go head to head with Lava. Well, actually, no, you didn't. You tried to engage in a handicap match against me, and still the big man comes out on top. So here's what happened. I killed all three of you. You failed your mission. Therefore, by default, the winner of this challenge is me. So guess who gets the 3 points? Again, me. So 3 points. My final score for that round. So the Evil Dead will give you a load of scores. So it will, like, things done. So, like, in your cases, you'll get, like, objectives captured, distance traveled, enemies killed, blah, 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 blah. And it gives everyone a score. So my score at the end of that round is 12,766, nailing me the 3 points.
Out of a million.
In second place was Sherry with an overall score of 3,484.
Say it again.
Wow.
What place?
Second place.
Yes.
Getting 2 points.
I can get used to that.
And then that means the single point is either going to be Cardinal or Tomahawk. And
scared.
the answer, who's getting the single point? It's Tomahawk.
Yes.
Tomahawk. With 1,214. I'm not going to embarrass Cardinal by reading out his score, but it was pathetic.
Cardinal, have you any
Anything to say?
objections? No?
No,
I think you should read it out. Give me peace of mind. Was it
I'm-
close?
no, no. It was. I think it was 1,000. I didn't even write it down, but I think it was about 1,000.
I think his silence says more than what any real evidence ever could.
I would agree. Maybe that's where he's went. He knew what was going to happen, and he's just scarpered, never to return. Is this the end of Cardinal Smith?
Skip country.
I'll just wait a toilet here. I'll be back in a minute. That was 3 days ago. So
Is it possible someone's died of embarrassment?
was it last episode? Cardinal was saying he's never come last. Was that last episode or the episode
He
before?
said it, maybe the episode before. It was a very throwaway comment after
It was.
Back for Blood.
It was. I
First
think
himself,
it was last
Yeah.
week. It was last week. It was last of us because I said, well, last week me, you, and Tomahawk got 0 points, so it's technically last. So now he's come last for a second time, and not outright last as well. It's embarrassing for him. Can he recover from it? That's the question. Can he recover from this? Because this does something massively significant for the league. Massively significant for the league. Not at the top end, because I mean, at this rate, I'm sewing it up, boys. I'm going to be mathematically safe in a couple more challenges if this keeps up.
say that.
Here's the league as it stands after the Evil Dead. In 4th place. He ain't moving, but he's getting closer to it. Sherry was 6 points. 6. 3rd place was Cardinal with 7 points.
Oh, it's tight now.
It's down to a point. Yeah, it's down to a point. Cardinal he's not only looking over his back, but he's starting to grease himself up, because if Mick grabs him, he's going to slip off him. That's what he wants. In 2nd place is Tomahawk. In second place is Tomahawk with 11 points, and then in first position is me with 13.
Still not moving.
It's tight everywhere.
getting-
Like, to be
getting
fair,
close.
there's 7 points between me and Sherry, and
Yeah.
that is it.
That's,
7 points
yeah.
between me and Sherry. That is It's nothing. It's nothing. So it is. It's effectively two wins for Sherry puts him second.
And it's not necessarily even to say that there may be bonus points, there may be double points, there may be, there's a whole other, like, a couple of factors to take in. So he's not by any stretch out of this.
There
No,
could be
not at all.
jealousy and someone grudges him.
Nah, not at all. Like there's a lot of permutations and things that can happen here. There's still 4 more games to play.
Yeah.
There's a few in there, without spoiling it. There's a few in there none of us are really that good at, so it means they can go go anywhere. The points can go anywhere, and it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be really good. The league.
No, I'm excited. This kicks off the second half quite nicely, and I think there's a few doozies coming our way, definitely.
Yep. Yeah. This was the one I was worried about, to be fair. Just because of the nature of it. It's you 3 versus me.
This one was purely luck of the draw, I suppose. Whoever was top at that point was always going to be the one at the disadvantage. Well, at the advantage in this case, though, Lova. But
see, you say that, but all these games are designed for the single player mind. But I've played tons of Dead by Daylight, where I'm the killer, and the survivors just absolutely run riot. And you can get.
That's what happens when they're organised, though. That's what happens when they're actually working as a team.
Take that as a learning moment, mate.
That stuff's overrated. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, going in blind is where the real fun's at.
It's a moment for learning here, gentlemen. So it is. But anyway, it's tight. It's tight, and the league can go anywhere. It's anyone's. It's up for grabs.
I will say though, I've said all season so far, I don't want to move from fourth. But now that I can taste it, I want that.
I want more.
I don't want to come last.
You want
He's
the podium
now not
finish?
sure about his wooden spoon. He's very much looking for that bronze trophy.
Yeah, you want.
Give me
the
that
podium
Charles
finish.
Leclerc position.
So, in fear of running around in circles, shall we get to the roundup here, gentlemen?
We should indeed, yes.
So, that's us, lads. That's us. Episode 6 is wrapped up. Another one in the bag. More points on the board.
Rightly.
And it's getting really, really exciting. I haven't seen Sherry smile this much since the podcast started.
I don't think I have.
He's got the bit between his teeth. He's going to get dangerous. I think he's going to be a dangerous wee young man.
For a game he hates so much, it's made him so much happier today.
That's
anyway.
it. I bet you a tenner he gets a lot more active on the group chat, and he gets a lot more active on social media, giving it the big I am. And speaking of social medias, if you want to follow the podcast, you can find it on Instagram. It is at High Scores High Stakes Podcast. If you want to follow the podcast on Twitter, it is at H Scores H Stakes. If you want to follow any of us individually, we're all on Twitter. I am at Mr_Lova_Lova. Sherry is at Mr. John Sherry. Tom is at the Tom Hutton, and Cardinal Smith, should he ever return, is Cardinal_Smith. Remember to follow or subscribe or like the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to this on. If you like the show, do consider giving us a good rating. It does help with visibility, helps get more eyes and ears on the podcast. And if you want to join the conversation with any of us, you can head over to anchor.fm/High Scores High Stakes. There you can take part in polls, you can take part in Q&As, and if you fancy, you can leave voicemails, which we will get to at some point during the season. Also, we have Discord servers, so get yourself over there. I don't know how to find us there, but High Scores High Stakes. So if you know how to work it, please send me a tweet and tell me how to work it, because I haven't a clue. So until next Monday, I've been Mr. Lova. This is High Scores High Stakes. Oh, no. Before we go, we have one more thing. So we're going to break our own rule for this 1 week only. We're still not going to tell you the game, and we're not going to tell you the challenge. What we will tell you is that it is going to be a tournament format. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the draw for the tournament. Okay? So I think Cardinal has our draw machine ready to go.
It's a very technical draw machine.
I can see that.
Beautiful.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful. So here's what we're going to do, okay? So because there's 4 of us, it's 2 semi-finals and then a final. So first name out of the hat will play second name out of the wheel. And then third will play fourth. So let's spin her up. Let's get her done. Spin the wheel.
The wheel. The wheel.
Oh,
He rigged it
first.
He's rigged it.
Cardinal
Still you.
versus...
Oh, it's gonna be
Here.
Tom. Oh,
Tom.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my
I've
goodness.
never been
what a
more
match.
confident.
Oh, what a match.
it looks like love has entered the dragon's den.
It looks like it's Lava versus Sherry.
Let's confirm.
Who's the home?
Just
Who's
confirm.
home? Who's home?
So
Who's
we
away?
don't get thrown into
Ah.
a UEFA scandal.
Beautiful. Home advantage, boys. This is all very exciting.
Player
Bit of-
one traditionally
bit of
is
fun.
the
Wanted to
red-
play.
Hey, am I playing? Am I playing? Oh,
dear.
Sherry! I didn't see that one come on. I
What?
didn't see that one
It's
come.
rigged. It's rigged. It's like United being drawn against City.
So that's us. So just to confirm the draw then for the next challenge, semi-final 1 is Cardinal versus Tomahawk, and semi-final 2 is Lava versus Sherry, and that's it.
Good.
What the,
They're good lineups. Good,
What?
good, solid lineups.
yes, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be brutal. Although of all the people to draw, I would say I've probably got the easiest one there.
Yeah, you got the Barnsley, I think.
The Mansfield Town. But as we said, we're not going to tell you what the game is, but you do know what the format is, and we'll...
And you do know Tom's going to be in the final with Lover.
Don't sell yourself short, Cardinal. You still have third place to play for then.
There's always that 1 point.
The third, fourth place playoff is key.
There's always that 1 point, and it's looking like those 1 points could decide third from fourth. But until next week. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that accidentally does 3 back-to-back horror games. I'm your host, Mr. Lava Lava, and with me as always are my co-hosts.
Cardinal Smith, how you doing?
I
forgot I had to do an intro. We're just ordinary
Can you say
men.
co-host? Oh,
We're just innocent men.
What do you mean? Right, we'll do it again, Cardinal. Cardinal, this is every week.
I generally forgot how to do intro. Right.
Right. Right, rewind.